All right, welcome everybody. It's Doug with the LincolnList.com, and today we're going to go visit a past lesson and talk a little bit about blow-off tops. We're going to make this the blow-off top part 2 lesson, and I had no intentions, trust me, of doing any lesson today whatsoever. Like you, I've got tons of other stuff I probably should be doing, but when you get a stock like VLTC, duty calls and you got to do what you got to do because these lessons are important because they can not only save you today, but they may keep your account intact 10 years down the road when you see the next VLTC. So first I just want to kind of touch base with everybody about what a blow-off top is before I get into DGLY and VLTC and how these all tie in together. For those that are listening the first time or maybe you're new, the easiest way to think about a blow-off top is it's the moment when this perfect storm comes together. When a stock is in, we're just going to go to the bullish side because they can also be bearish as well, but we're just going to focus on the bullish side because VLTC is in that direction. But it's that perfect moment where a stock is in a run-up, and then you get this one group of people who are just shorting this stock relentlessly, and every time it goes up, they continue to add to that position. And then you have on the other side people who keep buying into this position because they're afraid that they're going to miss the move. So what happens is these two groups all of a sudden meet at the same time, where shorts have capitulated and given up on the trade. They stop out, which in turn buys the stock. It starts to rip, and then all of the people that have been staring at it for hours waiting for the right time to get in, they finally give up waiting on a pullback, and they just start hitting market orders, and all this stuff happens at the same time. So it's like that perfect storm I said. Shorts getting stopped, chasers getting on it, and the next thing, euphoria takes over and the stock just goes berserk and everybody's standing there in shock. It's usually these blow-off top moves that signify the tops, or at least short-term tops in stocks. Now, this could be done on daily chart frames, time frames, excuse me, or even intraday. I'm going to show you a couple of them, and I'm going to show you how DGLY and Lake worked out. But first, I want to take a look at VLTC because it is the popular stock, and everybody's been calling a top in this stock just like they did Gene not too long ago as it's going up every day. But if you look at this stock through the intraday patterns that I hear stretching over a couple of days, yes, it was going up a lot, but what you had was something that was more trend-like. So what I mean by that is as the stock would go up, it would pull back, base, go up again, pull back, base, go up again, and continue to repeat that pattern. Like you see it yesterday, just kind of held the moving average. It was methodical, so to speak, in the way that it was going up. You kind of get that today. You get a little bit of a push here in the morning where it goes parabolic. It holds its trend, bouncing off of VWAP and other moving average, and it starts to curl up. Now, this point right here late in the day where it breaks over high, you start to see this massive surge. This is where, of course, number one, if people were shorting the stock, a lot of shorters would put stops at 1490 or the whole number of 15. The stock starts to perk up. It goes over high a day, and all of a sudden, those shorters get stopped out. Maybe some of them got called in, and then the chasers come in, and you get this extremely large move. Now, this move in dollar-wise goes from 14 to 19 almost within a 30 to 40-minute period, where back here, you didn't get that much of a rise in 3 to 4 hours. So that's kind of how these blow-off top works. And when we're shorting a stock, as I said in our chat room, we teach that just because every stock goes up doesn't necessarily make it a short. You need time versus price and a couple other components to really signal what a unsustainable move is, because a trend or a tight trend, even if a stock is up a lot, a really tight trend is most likely sustainable. What you're looking for is these capitulation moves on the short side as well as the chasers. You want those two to come together. This is what you get here, is a strong surge. Now, this strong surge late in the day, once it peaks out at 20 and the volume starts to increase, this is where you see the largest sell-off that you've seen in the stock in days. Instantly drops from 20 to 16. Now, that doesn't mean that this thing can't reattack the highs, but for this period of time, this move that was made from 15 to 20 was too fast and is unsustainable. That's what we mean by the blow-off top. It's that combination of two elements coming together that causes these prices, squeezing shorts, adding to it, and then chasers, all this stuff creates it. Now, when you have something on a daily chart like this that puts in that large move, usually when they have these blow-off tops, it starts to signal a downtrend. Now, if we go back, and I want to take a look at a couple of different old-time plays. First, we'll go with DGLY, because I mentioned good old DGLY. If some of you remember that we're trading last year during the summer. I'm going to kind of make this a little bit larger so you can see it. When DGLY has its run-up, it's very VLTC-like. First, it starts out with a run-up that starts to draw in shorts' attention. It starts to become overbought. Social media starts to mention, hey, this stock is really overbought up here. RSI starting to get high. But you start to see it pivot back upwards. And this thing starts to push. And as it's going to make that push, that's what you're going to get is the shorts. Some are going to give up. Some are just going to get squeezed and grenade their account. And then you're going to get the chasers that come in. The important thing to look at this is when you have a chart like DGLY, you look at this last day before it began, when it tapped out here at 33s, the highs, to make this video a little shorter. This is what began the downfall for DGLY, was this one last day where everybody just gave the hell up, where short said, screw this, they've been in it for days fighting it, they're done. The chasers are saying, damn it, I'm tired of watching this thing. They throw money at this. They hit market orders. Everybody's lost their mind, just not on the short side, but also on the long side. I mean, both sides have completely lost their mind, and this thing goes out, and most people just turn off their computer and go away. This is what begins the down cycle for DGLY. And the key here, as I said, is the largest day, the largest price movement in that cycle came after the stock was already at an overbought reading and was the last candle in that cycle. So the largest, you got some pretty good moves here, but definitely the largest move was the gap up that goes from $20 to $33, a $13 move in a single day where it had never done that. So that was that last blow off move. If we take a look at Lake, you had something very similar. Now Lake itself, it did this in a shorter span of time. You know, you start to get overbought. You got people really calling the top at 18, but once they get in there, the shorts get aggressive early. They get stopped out. The chasers come in. You get the biggest move here. Again, 20 to 30 bucks, a $10 move in Lake, which hadn't happened before. So when you look at DGLY and you look at Lake, which I've done the video before, take a look at it above, you see that the largest candle in this cycle was the last candle, and that blow off top is in essence what started the downtrend. Now, it doesn't maybe necessarily happen overnight, 3 to 4 days, but in a lot of cases, that marks the top. If we take these two charts and we look at VLTC, now I'll say with VLTC in its case, it's definitely a larger mover than what we saw percent-wise DGLY, Lake, and Gene. You know, percentage-wise, where it's made its move from 79 cents up to this $20. I mean, that's ridiculous. You got an RSI of 96, upwards of 97. This was definitely something, in my opinion, that has surpassed what you saw with DGLY and Lake, but still the same fundamentals apply. What this stock really needed, because, you know, everybody was calling the top at 5 and 8 and 10. You know, all of this stuff about calling the tops and the shorts getting into those early short squeezing when that stock holds. You know, the key is when it holds, it's just going to create more of a squeeze and the stock's going to go higher. You can't fight it. If a stock goes up this much, and what we also teach, like in our chat, is that if you start to short a stock, kind of maybe just a little bit off topic, but this will help you with, you know, other stocks that you short. You know, if you're looking at a stock that goes from 79 cents to $6 and you short it and you can't get a 25 to 30 cent pullback, I mean, what the hell does that tell you about the stock? It's just going to frustrate more shorts and it's going to get squeezed. I mean, it's not like you're asking, as the shorter, it's not like you're asking for a lot. You're not the one being greedy right here. It would be the longs that would be greedy, right? So you got to kind of look at it that way. And this thing is continually, just kind of methodically, as I said, it's going up and up and up, and it's grinding, and it's just like really stressing out the shorts. And it isn't until today where it just lost itself. And you got this move, you know, started out pretty strong and held it. But the last move here, you've got multi-time frame blow off top. You got a blow off top here, in my opinion, on the daily, and then a blow off top here late in the day that really signaled the way this stock, you know, that this is, in my opinion, a blow off top. Now, the next question is, is this the top? Will this mark the top of what we see in VLTC? Now, usually, as I said, that's the case. It's in DGLY and Lake and even Gene, those last days, those last huge surge days, marked the top for it, at least now in the short term, and those stocks began a downward cycle. This one you might start to see that. The reason I'm putting this lesson together is because now you finally got that blow off top, which a stock did not have up until this point. So it's going to be very interesting. I think you're going to start seeing it. I don't have a position, just for full disclosure. I don't have a short right here in VLTC. My broker doesn't have shares. If they did, I would probably, definitely would go in here using a 20 up there above as a gauge, because I think you did see it blow off top. I think you got the combination of the intraday and the daily chart. One of the things you might see in a case like this is, it's not unlikely, because it was in DGLY's case, for example, that once it did have that blow off top, it did try to come back. If it, you got to pay attention to the morning action there. If you have a position here, if it comes right back, it's going to try to come back most likely. But if it fails after that and is unable to reattack that 18 area or even 20 with any authority, I would say this is definitely the blow off top. But just judging from looking at what we learned from DGLY, what we're learning from Lake, and how we're looking at VLTC now, I would say that yes, you are now outside of you're going to start moving into the distribution cycle of this trade, or what they refer to as the backside. This is a definite blow off top, what we've seen today. And question now is, will it follow like DGLY, Lake, and Gene, and will it roll over from here? Or will this one continue to defy gravity and start going to $25 to $30 and maybe even do another blow off top? The thing about the market is you never know. All you can do is take your past lessons, learn from it, and go day by day. But I'm going to say this is probably a short-term top here for VLTC. But hey, I could be wrong. Anyway, I hope this lesson has helped you understand a little bit more. And this is just not on the daily chart, as I said. You can use this on intraday 5-minute charts for just shorting anything. For example, OCR was a stock we shorted today. A very same move, but on an intraday where you've got grind up. Yes, it's overbought and these little grind up flags, but still you never got that parabolic. It wasn't until this last little ramp up parabolic where this thing just shoots up. Same thing, short stop in, chasers coming in. Did you get a significant pullback? So not only does it work for daily charts and understanding the most overbought of the overbought, it also works for just smaller stuff that you're shorting intraday. Looking for those ramp ups, looking for those unsustainable moves, understanding when short sellers are getting squeezed and long buyers are coming into a stock all at the same time at certain levels within the chart, creating these absurd moves. And it's not just, as I said, shorting big moves, it's shorting moves that you have a good chance of understanding that are unsustainable. And that's what it's all about. It's unsustainable for that period in time. Again, if you guys need any help at all, ever, with your trading, feel free to visit thelincolnlist.com. Take a 14-day free trial. Other than that, thanks for listening to me ramble for almost 13 minutes about stocks. If you listen this long, you have what it takes to be successful, and you either like my voice, or you like the lesson, or you're just bored. But thank you one way or the other. Take care of yourself. LincolnList.com if you ever have any questions. Talk to you soon.